everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. and I make videos all about making and selling candles. And today's video is going to be me explaining and sharing some knowledge that I have learned by hiring a business attorney and trying to get all the legal stuff figured out. Now, because of the nature of this video, I do just want to put up a disclaimer for all of you. This video is in no way, shape, or form legal advice of any kind. It is just for general informational purposes only. Any information that I let you guys know in this video, it is not intended for you guys to take that information and implement it into your business. I really recommend, strongly recommend that you guys find a business attorney in your personal area, your city, your state, that is going to be able to be tailored to your specific business. So for instance, the information that I provide in this video, it may or may not be what you personally need for your business. And that's why it's so important for you guys to reach out to a business attorney in your area. Okay, now that we got all that out of the way, I wanted to first go into why I decided to hire a business attorney, because I'm about, 10 months, 11 months, whatever it is. I'm pretty much almost a year into my business already. So why did I decide right now to reach out to a business attorney? Well, first of all, every time anybody asks me for legal advice or business entities or business insurance, I feel very uncomfortable, to be completely honest, because I'm not a professional. I don't know what I'm doing. Obviously, I learned very much throughout this process of just having 2 different appointments with him on how much I didn't know. And that's why it's so important to, one, get educated. If you're going to be starting a business, it's very serious. You are starting a actual business. It's not just something that is going to be very small, because you can be held liable as an actual business if lawsuits or situations come up. So that's not meant to scare you guys at all. It just meant to get you yourself thinking to where it's definitely good for everybody to invest in their business when it comes to the protection of it. So I had really been thinking about hiring a business attorney for quite some time now, and I decided that now is a better time than waiting. The more I wait, the more I'm going to hold off, the more uneasy I'm going to feel about the security of my business. So I reached out to a local attorney office that has amazing reviews, such good reviews for this office and the lawyer himself. And I talked with one of the receptionists. I told her all about my businesses, all of my streams of income, and kind of what I have so far, which is I'm just a sole proprietorship with a DBA. And if you guys don't know what that is, a sole proprietorship is basically just when you haven't formed any kind of business entity, but you are running a business. So your personal assets, everything, there is no separation between you and your business. It just, you are just kind of connected with your business. So if you are selling candles or running a business and you have not yet formed a business entity, like an LLC or an S-corporation or something like that, then you would be considered a sole proprietorship. And anytime that you are running a business underneath a different name other than your legal name, then you need to get a DBA, which is doing business as. So you will be, so for instance, I'm Erica Boucher, DBA Memory Box Candle Co. So I'm doing business underneath that name. So I really just wanted to see, is that enough? I also have business insurance. Is that business policy going to be covered, covering any kind of legal fees or, payments in a lawsuit or something like that? So I just wanted to see, how protected am I? So I scheduled out the appointment with the lawyer. So basically how it worked in my specific situation is I paid for the hour and I wrote up a sheet of questions that I had. So what I decided to do was kind of give him a little backstory on my business, how long I've been in business, how much money I've made so far, all of the streams of income, and kind of my projected growth for 2021. I decided to add that in there because I thought it would be helpful, which I later found out that it was very helpful. And then I put in, I believe, maybe 5 or 6 questions in there. So I sent that over into this portal that they had for the law office. And then I went in, I believe it was the following week, I had set up an appointment. So my appointment time was essentially from 1 to 2, but I came in at 1:30 because in the first 30 minutes, the lawyer is going over your information, and the last 30 minutes, I kind of had a discussion with him. And it was very clear to me walking in, I dressed up. I dressed, nice, not like I'm going to a prom or anything, but just kind of like nice business, business attire. So I was really kind of anxious. I was so anxious. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know anything. So I'm going in, just with the little amount of knowledge that I've managed to gain. And I went in, and it was a really nice office, and they took me into a conference room, like one of those big tables with like the chairs all around. And I just remember thinking like, oh my gosh, this is serious. So after a few minutes of sitting there and just kind of, trying to calm myself down from being so nervous, the lawyer came in. He's really, really nice, really personable, super friendly, and we just kind of got going with the conversation. And he said that my situation was definitely very interesting because, I have my candle business, I have YouTube, I have affiliate marketing, I have my second Etsy shop that I just opened. So it's kind of all these different streams that I am, encompassing into one business essentially. So he started answering all of my questions, and at this point, this is kind of what I have learned based off of his answers to my questions. So I had asked if I needed business insurance. He said yes, and you can get your business insurance through your city. I don't know if this is just a California thing, but I believe that from what I have learned, it is through your city. So you can just go to like your city website or something like that, and you can get your business license. I also asked about my business insurance policy. So I sent over my business insurance policy, which is through Liberty Mutual, and I got that months ago. So I just want to make sure, is that policy covering what I need it to cover with the business that I have? And at this point, I realized that it is not a one person you go to and they know all the answers. There are specialties in all aspect of law and all aspect of, multiple different departments. So for him, his specialty is business formation. So business entity formation is his specialty. So when he was telling me about that, he said, I'll have to reach out to somebody else who can look over your policy for you because he's not an expert in the business insurance policies. And also when I asked about trademarking, because I want to trademark my name, he also said that he will have to introduce me to a business attorney that specializes in trademarking. So it was at that point that I really realized, okay, there is no go to one person, get all the answers, because that was my main concern in the beginning of everything, in the beginning of forming my business and starting all of this and what are the steps and what do I need to do. I didn't know, who do I talk to about taxes? Like, who do I talk to about business formation, business insurance, all of that kind of stuff. I didn't know if there was just one person that I could talk to or if it was multiple people. And now I realize it is multiple people, and that's okay. I'm glad that I learned that because I was very frustrated. I just wanted one person. Just let me talk to one person for an hour. They can answer all of my questions and then I'll be good to go. That's how I've thought about everything since the very beginning. And now I realize it's so much more involving than that, especially if you want to treat your business as an actual professional business. You really have to go through the steps. Another question I had was if I need to get a wholesale license if I want to purchase supplies from China, because that's something that I'm looking more into doing. And he said it's not called a wholesale license anymore, it's just a seller's permit. And I've had a seller's permit for like a year and a half now. I got it quite a while ago. It was free to do online in California. I don't remember exactly how I did it, to be completely honest. So if you're going to ask me questions on that, I don't remember. I just searched it on Google. I was able to figure it out. And I remember calling someone and asking them some questions, and they kind of walked me through how to do it. And then I asked if I needed to get a separate DBA for my second Etsy shop name. So if you guys don't know, I did recently open up a second Etsy shop under the name MBCC Designs. And I wasn't sure if I needed to open up a second or get a second DBA in order to run under that name. So once we got on topic with that, he said, yes, you would. However, we're going to be talking about forming a business entity for you. So we got more into the conversation about forming a business entity, which I knew sooner or later I was probably going to need to do that. I knew that I wouldn't be able to stay a sole proprietorship this whole time just because of protection, especially with selling candles and, kind of the danger behind them. So we were talking more about forming a corporation. So forming something called an s-corp, or just incorporating your business. So that is what he recommended for me to do for multiple different reasons. He did say that a single member corporation is stronger than a single member LLC. However, an LLC is better than just being a sole proprietorship. And the difference is that when you form a business entity, from what I've learned, is that it shields you and it protects you from anybody being able to come after your personal assets. So it's able to act as a shield to protect you as the individual. So in case of a lawsuit or something like that, they can't go after your personal assets, your money, your bank account, your car, your house, any of that. But specifically with a corporation is it has a lot of tax benefits. Now, to be completely 100% honest with you guys, I don't understand the entire process of incorporating and how it goes and all of the extra little details of it and how exactly it is going to benefit in every single way, just because I haven't gone through it completely yet. But I am in the process of incorporating my business and I'm so excited. I'm nervous. I'm super nervous, but I'm excited to be able to know that I am really, really building a strong formation for my business. And I know that it's going to be different for everybody. So you might be sitting there, if you know a little bit more about this stuff, and think, Erica, you don't need to incorporate your business. But there's so much more that goes into it. And I have so many different streams of income that I have coming in right now. And with tax benefits and with the protection, and if I ever want to have investors later on, there's just so much that goes into it that if you build that strong foundation, it really, really helps you later on. And again, all of this is very, very personal to me. So your situation could be completely different. You could just want to get an LLC to get started, and then maybe later on down the line, if it made more sense to you for you to incorporate, you may do that later on down the line. It's completely up to you. Again, this is why I highly recommend to get with a business attorney, get recommended by an actual professional on what I should do to secure my business. Now, the part that really kind of changed my whole opinion on the legal side of business was when he explained to me kind of the levels of protection when it comes to a lawsuit. So if somebody is trying to sue you over damages that your product did to their property or them or whatever the case may be, he went through kind of the steps of how the lawsuit continues and what are the steps where the lawsuit could be stopped depending on how strong it is. The first step is making sure that we are educating the customer on the product and the directions of use. So the warning labels, I sell the candle care cards on my Etsy shop, and it just kind of goes through what they should be doing in order to make sure that they are not misusing the candle and that they are using it properly. The second layer, if it gets passed through that first one, is if you have a legal website service agreement on your website. So what I am actually in the process of doing is I am paying him to write out this legal agreement, this legal disclaimer, whatever it's called. There's probably some sort of legal terminology for that, but again, I don't know everything. I'm just trying to relay the information that I have learned. But it's this legal disclaimer on the website, and before the customer checks out, they have to check off a little box that shows that they agree to all of essentially the terms, conditions, the legal disclaimer, the waive of liability, whatever it is, basically saying that I'm not liable for anything that happens once they purchase the candle. So I'm paying him him to write one specifically for me and my business to protect me from any situations that could arise in the future. God forbid if there's a lawsuit that happens. This is just all to protect in case something happens. So that is number 2. Number 3, if the lawsuit passes through both of those, it goes down into your business insurance. So business insurance is very, very important in the sense of paying out any kind of lawsuit fees, anything like that. For the longest time, I thought that business insurance was protecting your business to be sued. Oh my gosh, I don't know why. I thought the longest time that if you get business insurance, then you're good and you can't be sued. I don't know why. I thought that that was the protection, but it's not at all. It's just to pay out in case you do get sued and the lawsuit goes through, and whoever it is wins and you owe them money. So the business insurance will then come in and they will pay it. If there is any money left over, so let's say the lawsuit is $200,000 and the business insurance pays $150,000 and you owe $50,000. So this is the difference between being incorporated, or I'm sorry, having a business entity formation and not having a business entity formation. So if you are just a sole proprietorship, they can come directly after you, all of your personal assets, your house, your cars, your bank account, anything that you have that they can go after, they will. And if you have a business entity formed, then that will be what they will be going after. They can't go after you, they will only go after the business. So in that case, it would be up to the corporation or the LLC or whatever it is that you formed to pay off whatever it is. But they can't go after your personal assets. And honestly, I have thought for the longest time, well, I don't have any personal assets, so I don't really need to protect them because I rent an apartment. I have a very somewhat old car that is not worth that much, so it wouldn't really matter. But I also realize that I need to be thinking about the future too. In the future, I'm gonna want to buy a house. I'm gonna want a nicer car. I'm gonna have more things that I don't want people to be able to take from me. So that is another reason why I'm like, you know what? It's better to start the formation right now and have a good foundation for the future, just so I'm really trying to protect myself. He also informed me about something called piercing the corporate veil. And what that is if you have formed a corporation and there is somebody suing you and they get all the way down to your corporation, if your corporation was not either A, formed correctly in the beginning, or it's not maintained correctly, they would actually be able to metaphorically pierce through your corporate wall and get to your personal assets. So that's why it's really important to make sure that you are seeking out a business attorney that, one, knows what they are doing, and two, knows the legal requirements in your state. I did, when I got my DBA, I went through LegalZoom. I probably wouldn't recommend that, to be completely honest. I would recommend for you guys to seek out somebody in your local area who's gonna know so much more and be able to really focus on you and make sure that your LLC or your corporation or whatever it is that you're wanting to form is going to be very, very strong and done correctly. Because if it's not, then when it comes to a lawsuit, there really is no protection because it wasn't formed right initially. So I thought that was really, really interesting, and I wanted to share it with you guys because I thought it was so interesting. I'd never ever thought about that before, on how important it is to have that legal disclaimer on your website that they have to physically check off to show that they read that. And if you guys have gone to any websites, there's so many websites that have that show that you are checking that off before you purchase it, because it tells them that you read that before you purchased it, so you understand and you agree to those terms before you purchase the product. He also is going to be writing up something that I'm actually going to physically be putting in the box when the customer purchases a candle. So it's going to be probably essentially the same size, another postcard, and just have something like, he said something like, don't forget candles are dangerous, seller is not responsible for any damages. It's basically like, I am not liable, and it's actually in the box, because he put it to me this way. When it comes to selling something that's really dangerous, if you purchase something that's very dangerous and you open it up, there's always that kind of warning, there's that disclaimer of a big sheet of paper that basically says this is dangerous, in more words than that, but that's essentially what it's saying. He said that we didn't have to go that far because I'm not selling something that is dangerous in and of itself. It's only dangerous in the misuse of it, or it could potentially be dangerous if left in a place where it could catch something on fire, etc., something like that. But he said he does think that putting something in there is going to be a good idea when it comes to legal matters, to actually physically put that in the box, have that on the website. You know, I got my warning sticker at the bottom, and you know, that's kind of what I chose to do right now. He also did say you have to have a privacy policy on your website. So I learned about privacy policies for a website. So this is not legal advice, but if you guys do not have a privacy policy on your website currently, definitely look into doing that. Hire a business attorney to write one for you for your website. It's going to be so important to have that, because I guess legally you have to. And I don't think that that's something that all of us know when it comes to starting a business. We don't know all the legal stuff. We just know kind of the creative side, and you know, we're thinking about everything with marketing and how are people going to find my candles, and all the legal stuff just kind of gets pushed to the side because we're focusing on so many other things. So this is just kind of a video to maybe spark some motivation in you guys to really be like, okay, I need to sit down, I need to find a business attorney, even if it's just paying them for an hour of their time to ask questions like I did and see what they recommend for you. But anyways, guys, I think that is all the information I have to share with you guys today. I will definitely be making follow-up videos in the future about more things that I learned. I'm going to be meeting with a CPA. I'm going to get a CPA, you guys. If you don't know what a CPA is, it's a certified personal or public accountant. One of those, I think it's public accountant. And they're going to help me with all of my tax stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. I still need to do my taxes for 2020. And as soon as I meet with them, I'll kind of see how that goes. So I will be making follow-up, you know, videos on that and just kind of the process of all of this, because again, I'm learning this all as well. And that is also why in the comment section below, if you guys ask anything having to do with legal stuff, I probably won't answer it, because I can't give any legal advice. This is the most I can do in these videos, is just explain to you guys what I have learned and what I am currently experiencing, and just very much advise for you guys to find your own business attorney in your area to assess your specific needs for your business, because it's probably going to vary from what I need to what you need, especially when it comes to the corporation. Not everybody is wanting or needs to incorporate in the beginning, but based off of the information that I told him, that is what he recommended for me. So I think I'm going to leave it there because I've already talked so much in this video. Again, I really hope this video was interesting, helped you guys out, gave you some motivation, inspiration to reach out to a business attorney in your area and really start to protect yourselves, because we need to protect ourselves. That is so important. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, go ahead and leave it a thumbs up if you guys liked it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at MemoryBoxCandleCo. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.